Okay, the fundamental truth, number one, to a person who wants to be unashamed of the gospel or preach the gospel in a way that is unashamed, is to simply know the truth about not only God's wrath, but the truth about people and what they know and what they'll believe. The atheist generation is gone. By the way, I really like millennials. Anybody here a millennial? We got several millennials here. I like you guys. And I'll tell you the number one thing I like most about the millennials. I like them a lot better than Gen Xers. I'm a Gen Xer. And Generation X is a terrible generation, to the people that were before it. I think the baby boomers came before us or something. Al made up this buster generation. I've never heard anyone but you. Anybody heard of busters besides Al? Okay. I don't know where he came up with it. He says I'm a buster. But I'm Gen X. Okay. So anyway, whatever it is. But the millennials, here's what I love about millennials. I don't know if I've met a millennial who claims to be an atheist. I'm not sure. I'm not going to make, this scientific, this is the fact about millennials. Millennials are just like, I don't know if there's God or not, but hey, I'd like to hear about it if there is. And I love that about them. Honestly, the Lord's been just thrilling me with the possibility of millennials. Johnny told me last night we were at Chick-fil-A, and he said, Chick-fil-A has done the surveys about millennials, and they've won the millennials. They beat out McDonald's and everybody else. Chick-fil-A has for life won the millennials. How many of y'all are millennials and are into Chick-fil-A? Yeah, look at all these. Look at them. Oh, Chick-fil-A. What? You're Gen X. You can't like Chick-fil-A. Well, Michelle can. She's a millennial. So, I know, but she's on the wrong side of the year. Yeah. Okay. In between, see? Oh, wow. I don't know what to say. Yeah, I don't like Chick-fil-A that much. It's okay. Anyway, what?
How do you know which one you are? When you were born?
By the year you're born.
What? After
Good question. Don't ask me these questions. You don't know the answer to these questions. You go home and research it. Okay?
What, after 2000?
You're sidetracking me so far right now. All right. Well, here's what I like about millennials. My Gen Xers are atheists. Honestly, Gen Xers are, I don't believe there's a God. Now, if you really probe and quiz them, they don't know why they don't believe there's a God. They just don't believe there's a God. It's true. The average guy my age, now they're starting to have kids, and they're different. They're different than they were a few years back. They're late bloomers on asking whether or not there's a God. But somebody told them, probably in school, there's no God. And the Gen Xers are like, there's no God. And they just believe it. And if you want to argue with a Gen Xer, he's not going to talk to you about it. I'm not going to talk to you about it. There's no God. You say, why do you believe there's no God? Well, I don't have to answer you. Brother Al says Gen Xers have a disrespect for authority. And so he says they'll smart off or talk back. That's why I'm a buster, by the way. Anyway, he says, that's what Brother Al says about Gen Xers. Gen Xers will tell you straight up, listen, pal, but millennials won't do that. Millennials, and this is a general statement about a generation, but they'll usually like, well, man, they all got nice beards, guys, they're all in a barbershop with their beards. And you go in a barbershop and they'd be like, well, let's hear you. You think there's a God? There's not a God. I'd like to hear it. And I love that because you can win somebody that will listen. And they are listeners. And honestly, they are good collaborators and team workers. So you millennial haters, you better quit it. You need to win the millennials. Maybe they'll be a better generation than we've seen in a while for preaching the gospel.